Hi there, my name is LMcDaniel, and this presentation will include the importance of building trusting relationships in higher education. Building positive, trusting relationships between students and the instructor is a crucial component of a healthy learning environment. This statement seems obviously relevant for younger learners because so much of child learning is dependent upon healthy attachments with caregivers. But what about in adult learning settings? Why is a trusting relationship between instructor and learner important in higher education? I thought for most of my young life that I hated history. My elementary and high school years were filled with long lectures and persnickety teachers. It wasn't until my sophomore year of college that I realized how interesting this subject could be. What was the difference? Why the sudden interest? I was a mere 2 years older and frankly not much wiser than I was the last time I took a history class. My professor was covering the same material I'd read a dozen times before. What this professor did differently was to build trust, connection, and rapport with his students. He made history interesting by relating the content to his students' lives. Trusting relationships are the foundation of a healthy classroom. First, positive relationships are highly motivating. Research shows that when students receive praise from their instructors, their brains are flooded with dopamine and they are motivated to seek that praise again in the future. A study published in the Journal of School Health found that schools providing high standards for academic learning and conduct, meaningful and engaging pedagogy and curriculum, professional learning communities among staff, and personalized learning environments are more likely to have students who are engaged in and connected to school. Second, building positive relationships in the classroom creates a psychologically safe space in which students can feel free to chime in without criticism or recourse. Psychologically safe students are more likely to challenge themselves academically when they do not have fear of criticism from their instructors or peers. And finally, when inquiring about students' hobbies, interests, or other aspects of their lives, instructors are able to include the necessary connections and references to synaptically connect new information with old information. And these connections have been shown to improve student retention long term. So we know that it is beneficial and really important to build connections and trusting relationships in the classroom. But how do we do this? What does that look like in a practical sense? Just like any other positive human relationship, the instructor-pupil relationship should involve mutual sharing. Understanding our students may require that we first offer something of ourselves. I found that sharing my own past frustrations or joys from my school days makes students feel more at ease. We can share elements of our culture, faith, or family history too. We're all familiar with the first day icebreakers from elementary school. Say your name and your favorite candy. Went a long way back then, didn't it? In an adult setting, believe it or not, similar tactics can be used, and when the instructor offers information first, even hesitant or quiet students may feel more at ease with sharing and participating in class discussions. And finally, children are not the only humans who respond to positive affirmations and words of praise. Modeling a kind, gentle, and affirming personality will go a long way to build the kind of safe environment in which students will thrive. How can we assess the needs and interests of adult learners? There are a number of methods which can be used to elicit personal responses from students, ranging from in-person verbal interviews to questionnaires or surveys. It is also entirely possible to allow students to share within the context of assignments, essays, or presentations. A history instructor might provide a prompt for students to build a family tree, or a biology instructor might create an assignment prompting the research of familial genetic traits and their origins. It also may be beneficial to question students on their inner beliefs and feelings about a particular subject, or perhaps about being a student and learning in general. We can ask them if they feel stressed about school. Do they feel understood by their instructors and peers? Do they feel confident or safe sharing personal opinions? And we can then model a reassuring and positive environment by allowing for those opinions to be expressed. Those who claim that Christianity is a Western or Eurocentric religion are misinformed. Christ himself was born in the Middle East, and his ministry centered on reaching Gentiles near and far with his message of salvation. The story of the Good Samaritan is a story of inclusion and kindness in which previously held biases were put aside in favor of doing the right thing. Therefore, supporting diversity, varied cultures, and inclusion is not only the kind and just action, but it is also biblical and Christ-like. Dealing with people from different walks of life, religions, and lifestyles is an inescapable aspect of being human. Instructors should not only model friendly disagreement tactics, but teach students how to politely disagree from the start of any course, and they should implement zero tolerance policies against harsh criticism. They should instead model healthy and productive debate strategies. One simple way to put this in practice is with a variant of the compliment sandwich, such as, I understand why you feel the way that you do. I disagree with your premises because, but I thank you for sharing your opinion. And here's my sources. Thank you.